There is a special kind of human problem that only seems to happen when you are trying to sleep. It is 2:13 in the morning. The room is quiet. Your body has clearly voted for unconsciousness. And then your brain, which had the entire day to bring this up, suddenly says, "Remember that weird thing you said 7 years ago?" Before you can answer, it adds a few more helpful items. The email you sent sounded strange. Money might become a problem. Someone may be secretly annoyed with you. Also, everyone dies eventually. Great. Excellent meeting. Very productive. This is one of the awkward things about being human. We usually talk about intelligence like it is a clean evolutionary upgrade. Bigger brain, better species, roll credits. And to be fair, intelligence did a lot for us. Humans made medicine, cities, language, music, spacecraft, and tiny glowing rectangles that can teach you calculus or ruin your mood in 10 seconds. But if intelligence is such a perfect superpower, why does it come with so many weird side effects? What if intelligence is not only evolution's masterpiece? What if it is also one of evolution's strangest bugs? The first clue is the hardware. A human brain is not a cute little bonus feature nature added at the last minute. It is expensive machinery. It burns a lot of energy, takes years to build, and spends most of its time sealed inside a skull, guessing what the world will do next. For a wild animal, that is a risky investment. Every calorie spent feeding a large brain is a calorie that cannot go into armor, speed, teeth, or a body that is easier to maintain. Evolution does not usually hand out luxury upgrades. If a trait sticks around, it has to pay rent. The human brain paid rent, but the rent was high. You can see the bill right at the beginning of life. Human babies are born with unusually large heads, and yet they are still helpless for a long time after birth. Some animals arrive ready to stand, run, swim, or at least make a brave attempt. A human baby arrives with almost no useful field skills, unless you count screaming with conviction. This is not an insult to babies. They are doing their best, but it shows the trade-off. A big learning brain is powerful, hard to deliver, slow to mature, and expensive to support. So before intelligence gives us poetry, physics, and group chats, it already comes with a biological price tag. That does not make it bad. It makes it costly. Then the costs move from the body into the mind. A smarter brain can do something almost magical. It can run simulations. It can imagine winter before winter arrives, plan a hunt, predict a storm, and guess what another person might be thinking. That ability is unbelievably useful. It is also how you end up suffering from things that have not happened. You can sit safely in a chair and rehearse an argument from 3 angles. You can turn one delayed reply into a courtroom drama where you are somehow the defendant, the prosecutor, and the tired judge. This is the strange tax of imagination. A brain that can prepare for danger can also manufacture danger. A brain that can learn from the past can also replay it until the lesson becomes a bruise. Intelligence gives you a prediction machine. It never guaranteed that the machine would be calm. The same thing happens with patterns. Pattern recognition is one of the reasons humans are so impressive. We can read tracks in dirt, emotion in a face, weather in clouds, and meaning in a few marks on a page. But a pattern-hunting brain does not always know when to stop hunting. 3 bad things happen in a week, and part of you wonders if the universe has started a personal side project. Someone uses a shorter tone than usual, and your mind begins assembling a conspiracy board. Most of the time, this is just annoying. Sometimes it becomes painful. Either way, the tool is powerful because it over-detects. It would rather see a pattern too early than miss one too late. That bias may have helped a nervous animal survive. It can also make a modern human weird at breakfast. Then intelligence turns inward, and things get even stranger. Humans do not only think, we notice ourselves thinking. That sounds deep, and it is. Self-awareness lets us apologize, improve, imagine other people's feelings, and ask what kind of person we are becoming. It also means you can be in a normal conversation while a second version of you sits in the balcony taking notes. Was that joke too much? Why did I stand like that? Do my hands normally do this? The more you monitor yourself, the less natural you feel. Now you are talking while watching yourself talk. then judging the quality of the watching. At some point, intelligence stops feeling like a crown and starts feeling like a room with too many mirrors. The deepest mirror is probably death. Most living things avoid danger. Humans do something extra. We understand that the whole story ends. Not just this problem, not just this season, everything. That knowledge can be terrifying, but it is not only dark. It may be part of why humans make art, build monuments, tell myths, raise children, write songs, take photos, pray, start projects, and try to leave evidence that we were here. The awareness that hurts us also pushes us to make meaning. That is the annoying thing about intelligence. The gifts and the bugs are tangled together, and then intelligence escaped the skull. One person makes a tool, another person improves it, someone teaches the improvement. A child learns it without having to rediscover it from scratch. After enough generations, the cleverness is no longer just inside individual brains. It is stored in language, books, laws, schools, machines, maps, and servers humming in buildings most of us will never see. That is culture. And culture evolves fast. Genes move slowly. Culture gets impatient. This is where intelligence starts to look almost too successful. We invent agriculture, and our diets, diseases, and social structures change. We invent cities, and millions of primates have to pretend crowded traffic is a normal habitat. We invent clocks, and the day becomes a grid. We invent phones, and every pocket gets a tiny machine for attention, comparison, status, news, work, and panic. None of this means technology is evil. Technology saves lives. It connects people. It lets someone learn astrophysics in pajamas, which is one of civilization's better achievements. The stranger point is that human intelligence became powerful enough to redesign the environment faster than the human animal could adapt. The brain built the maze. Then it had to live inside the maze. So here is the provocative version of the theory. Maybe intelligence is not a clean upgrade. Maybe it is more like installing a huge operating system on an ancient animal body. The body still wants food, sleep, warmth, safety, touch, belonging, and a stable place in the group. The mind is trying to understand politics, compare itself to strangers, answer messages, choose a password with one uppercase letter, worry about the planet, plan a career, process bad news from everywhere, and still be present in the moment. Of course, it crashes sometimes. That does not mean humans are defective. It may mean we are overloaded. The grounded scientific answer is less dramatic, but probably more useful. Intelligence is not literally a mistake. It is an adaptation with trade-offs. It helped humans cooperate, teach, predict, negotiate, invent, and survive at a scale no other animal has matched in quite the same way. But evolution does not optimize for peace of mind. It does not ask whether a creature will feel emotionally balanced at midnight. Evolution is colder than that. If a trait helps enough with survival and reproduction, it can spread, even if the side effects are messy. So intelligence may not be a bug in the simple sense. It may be a feature powerful enough to create its own bugs. That may be the strange truth about the human mind. Our intelligence is not just our crown. It is also our burden. It lets us see further than we are comfortable seeing. It lets us imagine futures we are not ready to manage. It lets us ask questions no animal needs to ask, then lose sleep over the answers. But it also lets us notice the problem. That part matters. The same mind that spirals can also study itself. The same imagination that creates fear can create art, science, humor, medicine, and better ways to live. Maybe intelligence is not a mistake. Maybe it is a tool so powerful that the user is still learning how not to hurt itself. So what do you think? Is intelligence our greatest advantage or our strangest burden?